Okay, so we just read the Grimm brothers story Snow White and Rose Red. You want to give us a summary and then we'll discuss it?
Yeah. So there's like this little family that lives in the forest, I think. And it's a mother with two daughters. And and the daughters are named Snow White and Snow Red.
Oh, Rose Red.
Snow White, yeah, Rose Red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Snow White, she's more quiet and likes being indoors, while Rose Red is more active and enjoys being outside. And they're just both very close to each other. And yeah, and they like walk hand in hand a lot. Um, and then like one day during the winter time, a bear knocks on their door and they're scared, but the bear tells them that uh it means no harm and just wants to be let indoors to be more comfortable during the winter storm. So then they agreed to let the bear in and um yeah, they have a good time with the bear and they're playing with it. And it eventually becomes a daily routine for the bear to keep visiting.
Hmm.
Um,
And also,
and
when they
then,
play with it, they play with its fur and they roll it around, but sometimes they get too rough with it, and it says to be gentle with your lover. He like sings a little ditty. Children, children, let me live. Snow white, rosy red. Snowy white, rosy red. Will you beat your lover dead?
yeah, so after that, the bear,
Well, it's like the end of the winter, I guess. And he tells him
yeah,
why he's gonna leave.
yeah, it tells them it's going to leave and it's going to be gone for a while. Um,
Because he needs
so
to
yeah, he
guard
goes
his
away.
treasure from the dwarves.
hmm Um,
And as he is walking out the door, uh, like on the door lock or something, like some of his hair catches, and Snow White notices that, and she feels like she
Mhm.
sees underneath the hair there's like gold.
Mhm. So yeah, that happens, and then uh, one day their mom sends them to go get needles and thread from the town. So on the way to go do that, they meet a dwarf, and the dwarf has his beard stuck under a tree that fell because he was trying to get firewood. And the dwarf is just very impolite and calls them names.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
but
super ungrateful.
yeah, but eventually they get some scissors to cut the beard, and the dwarf tells them that they shouldn't have cut the beard and that it will bring them bad luck. So, but yeah, it he frees himself and takes like a bag of gold, I think, with him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that he gets from sort of at the tree roots.
hmm. Yeah, and then in their second meeting with the dwarf, they're walking in a place with lots of rocks. No, no, it's they're fishing. The dwarf is fishing for food, and I think the fish is too strong for the dwarf, and I forgot what happens if it gets stuck or
His
something.
beard
But
gets caught up in the fishing line,
yeah,
and the fish
yes.
is like pulling him in.
hmm So they cut the beard again, and then the dwarf gets angry about them cutting the beard a second time. So, but and it walks away with like a bag of pearls.
Yeah,
And
that he
then
got
that,
among the reeds and the rushes or
mm,
something. Again, he took it from like a low place.
mm. Yeah, and then the third time they meet, they're walking in a place with lots of rocks, and there's like a bird flying overhead, and the bird lowers down and tries to capture the dwarf. So
Mm.
then the girls grab onto the dwarf's legs, and they're kind of in a tug of war with the bird. and eventually the bird gives up. And then this time the dwarf is angry at them because during the struggle his coat got torn.
Yeah.
And he takes a bag of, I think it was diamonds or something, with him this
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I think it says precious gems of,
Hmm. Yeah, so um, on
and
their
then
way back, the girls they try to maybe make up for the damage or something, but they go find a dwarf again in his cave, and
I think they just happen upon him. Like he's a little bit away from his cave and he's taken out the
mhm,
stones to like a clearing, a like clean place and just kind of like counting them or something.
mhm. Yeah, so they're surprised by the gems, and then the dwarf is unkind to them again. And this time, like the bear comes out from the forest, and they didn't recognize the bear at first, but then they realize it's the bear friend that had left months ago. And the dwarf tries to is scared of the bear and thinks he'll get eaten. So he offers the girls to the bear,
Yeah.
um, but the bear just swipes at him with his paw and kills the dwarf.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the bear,
Well, the girls are
um,
running away, have run away
yeah,
because they did not realize who the bear was.
yeah, and then the bear tells them that it's their friend. So, and that um, he reveals himself to be a man that was under a curse by the dwarf to run around as a bear. But by killing the dwarf, he's free of that and he's back to being a human.
Yeah, and he's wearing gold clothes, and he says why, yeah. And the dwarf had stolen all his treasure and then cursed him to
Mhm.
be a beast in the forest running around. Yeah. Okay, so oh sorry, so you haven't finished.
Yeah, so the man turns out to be a prince. So in the end, he marries Snow White, and then Rose Red marries his brother, and the mom goes to live with them happily ever after. And she takes the rose bushes they had outside their house. That was one with red roses and one with white roses.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, one thing that you didn't mention was that in their in their cottage, they have like a lamb and a dove that are there, and both of them are scared also when the bear comes. And it seems only that the mother is not scared when the bear shows up at their door and but calls everybody else, and then everybody is like calm around him and then they're even playful, and then the girls are even playful and rough with him.